I hope I'm saying your name right. It's Tresor Penku, the Managing
Tresor Penku, yes.
Director of La Liga Africa.
Africa.
6 months ago, you were introduced to us here in South Africa at this very same venue. We were aware of the projects that were underway, the projects that was, already taking place before your arrival. So can you just recap over the last 6 months, what notable progression or excitement? I mean, you wouldn't be here if you weren't excited about this job. What, in specifically in Africa and South Africa, have you seen now over the last 6 months?
With regards to this 6 months, like the projects that have been done already, it showed during the announcements in September. We announced many projects. A good thing is that we always say it's better said than done, right? But the Liga goes the other way around.
Yeah, yeah.
We do what we say every
Yeah.
time. So all the projects that were announced have been done. Like
Yes,
we talked
yes,
about this
yes.
young girls that will be graduating scholarship. They are already in Spain as
Yes.
we speak. They left Spain, I think, they left South Africa by October, if I'm not mistaken. So they're in Spain since October.
Yes.
There were two from South Africa, there were two from Nigeria, three from Zambia, and one from Tanzania. We talked about the project we're going to do with our partner Hollywood Bets, having some ladies from Hollywood Bet Super League for animation program in Spain with Villarreal. And that has been done. That was done at the beginning of this year. In January, we have just launched an FC Futures program with our partners EA Sports, which is a program that entails like 4 different elements. Most important of all, pitch uplift that was done in a pitch in France football in Cape Town with the help of Karabo Poppy, like our international renowned guide artist, who did a great job of designing the whole pitch. We refurbished the whole pitch with great designs. We had kids the priorities to play football. It came from NACF's Maurice Academy, Entire Academy. We did ball, the balls, each kid went home with the ball. Apart from that, again, we are going to be granting 2 more scholarships, like 2 more for South African young girls to go live experience a year in Spain, in Madrid, where they will go to school, which is very important. They will keep international education while they fine-tune their talent. So the commitment is unwavering. We say all of these things, and the good thing is that we're committed to them, and we always do them, and we'll do them the best we can with the help of all our partners.
I think something that was interesting that was said in the panel was that women's football, there's more room for growth. I kind of understand a bit of the landscape of South African football and what the La Liga Africa project was meant to do in South Africa, which was not only, improve and do grassroots things, but also kind of try to infiltrate the South African market that is dominated by South African football and English Premier League, because that was also the end goal. But do you see now a major gap? Because, like we said, our women's football are still at semi-pro level. So if La Liga and Hollywood Bets hold hands together and, help them grow, don't you see that there'd be maybe, how can I say, more respect, more market share for La Liga to go into that space? We've seen the South African women play in La Liga as well, and we don't have the men there. So do you see that as an opportunity? Because nobody's really touching that at the moment.
Yeah, so it's an opportunity. One of the objectives of our international expansion is also to grow the La Liga brand, right? In the countries where we are, especially here in Africa, to support our partners, to gain more partnerships, also to support all the projects that we are doing and that we're doing. So in this case, talking about the partnership with Hollywood Bets that is permitting us to give opportunities to these ladies to expose them, to a different football culture, to different culture in general, to watch, to experience La Liga matches live and all of that. I think when they come back with a different perspective of what they have been able to learn there. Same as we can bring in female players from Spain to South Africa, who will learn a lot from South Africa. But we think that this approach is an amazing one. Another approach also working in it is the fact that we understand that there's a lot of challenge in general in the continent. We all know administration, right? We need more administrators, more people who understand.
So it's beyond the field.
Most of it, there's a lot we still need to ensure competition, ensure that the product is good, ensure that the levels are good, the technical aspects of it are good. But if those are good and we can market them properly, they would not be. They both actually intersect because you need private funds from the good market of this product to be able to reinvest in talent, in grassroots, and all of that, right? So we believe that if we can better up on top of administration, have more people who are capable of understanding how sports assets work, how to manage sports assets, being maybe coming from a different industry doesn't necessarily mean we can manage sports assets. It's an industry on its own, so we understand that this administration is good to also strengthen, is good to also harness, and we'll also work on that with partners like Hollywood Bets. We also enter an agreement with Gibbs, through which we are going to be able to offer leadership courses, marketing courses to executives that include also a trip in Spain to understand how La Liga will manage their assets, to understand how clubs manage assets, how they grow their brand, how they communicate, digital experiences, and all that. So this will help probably with this information help different clubs who need it maybe implement those ideas, the ideas they learn, to be able to grow their sports. And we always say the expansion of La Liga, we always say we want to be the second most watched league in the country that we are, right?
Are you saying it is, or is that the expansion to get?
That's what we always say. Because the second, because we understand that the local leagues must have more viewership.
Okay, fair enough.
Yes, that's what we understand. We can't have more viewership. That's how we get in the market. So how can we help in this? Because we don't come to be the most watched in the country. Because locally it's like any other league being watched more than the Liga in Spain. That will make sense. So that's how the approach is, and as we can help get those objectives, we'll be happy.
This is finally it. Would you say that you guys over the next 5 years, would have a direct influence on this upskilling that you are talking about, from giving opportunities to players, to the administration, to the marketing? Because La Liga is, I would say, something to look up to aspire to for African leagues. We know we have the potential. We know there's room for development, and if somebody can come in and help us upskill ourselves, would you say that in the next 5 years you guys would have a direct influence in potentially doing that?
I think actually we are already doing it.
Okay.
We have La Liga Business School. I think we're the only league in the world with a proper business school, and we're doing different courses. All of these ideas we bring, we're championing this kind of conversations. We actually did something very similar in Cameroon, recently with African Sports Football Summit, Sports Marketing Summit, ISMS, where we had industry leaders also come and exchange. And all of that, what happens is that you see more people who are interested in sports management, and now you have agreement with universities through by giving sports courses, sports management courses. And actually, when I confirm that we're doing this, because in our recent course that we did in collaboration with the university in Cameroon, the Catholic University of Central Africa, we had a student from there who integrated a club, to a local club there, and many other students from there to implement. He was hired after that because of those ideas, and he was able to implement what was being taught by these leaders who came in to give the courses. So even though we see droplets of these, we think that the fact that we organize also give. I'm not saying we discovered this, but it gives other people maybe ideas to why don't you do more sports conventions? Why don't you do more conversations that with insightful kind of data that can permit us? Why don't you do more of this? Why don't you get more into marketing, sports marketing? Why don't you integrate more?
Don't have to be a coach.
All of that. So all of these things help to to get to these objectives. Football-wise, same thing. We bring in coaches. Once in a while on the continent, we train local coaches also. We exchange know-how with the local coaches, and wishing that whatever is being exchanged will help local coaches and also help us in our day-to-day activities.
Just on your first 6 months, I think you visited most of the countries in Africa that La Liga has a footprint in, or if not all, right? Which ones do you think has had the most impact so far? Not just with you, but overall. Which one have you come into and you see there's been a real impact here?
Well, for now, honestly, I haven't visited all the countries
Okay.
yet. We have delegates.
Yeah.
But I think each country, each delegation is actually having a very huge return from what we're doing in terms of audience. That's why there's general growth of audience also, the general growth of funds in all these countries, projects, 269 activations. I don't know how many, so many projects, in the continent. I wouldn't take or mention
Yeah.
one country because I know we're very active in each of them are very important for us. That said, we have an office in South Africa, right? Meaning you understand how important South Africa is for us because there's a whole office here and people in the office working day after day to grow the sports, to grow the brand, to support our partners. And from what I've seen and from the work of the office, the intensity of work that's been done in South Africa is just amazing and the results are amazing.
Thank you very much, Tresor.
Thank you.